New capital seems to be entering the crypto market. But when you go do look at a 3-day chart, you still have some resistance. Yes, it is clear that you're forming another higher low, and you definitely need to make another higher high. But in XRP terms, it really looks bullish. Momentum is in your favor. You go into a pattern based analysis. What you get to see is that we did break higher. We did break that pattern. What does that mean for XRP holders? Yeah, you look at the RSI, it is suggesting you that it is forming a higher low. That means more buyers are entering and you have a breakout. Now, all that you have to wait for is a break of this 2.89 or $2.9 mark. This is going to give you the confirmation of what lies ahead. Especially when you look at a 3-day chart and its RSI, that conveys a message while the price action is doing what you can see now. If you move into Bitcoin side, momentum and its direction is clear. Whether it's a 3-day chart, whether it's a daily chart, you kind of get to see where we are right now. And combining that with the Bitcoin dominance, it kind of gives you an idea where the altcoins will move from here, especially if you see this trend line in the Bitcoin dominance breaking. And that would be generally around 57.16. So if you see 57 break to the downside in Bitcoin dominance, it is going to be a great area to ride altcoin market. Now pick the altcoin market and understand what it's doing. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get to learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. Now, what you're watching is XRP, XLM, and Cardano trying to push higher. What is happening in Cardano, the smart contracts asset, which showed us there is a negative divergence? This is what we have been talking about. If the price make a negative divergence, it is bearish. If the price then drop and form a bullish divergence, yeah, that's good. But watch, this is Cardano on a weekly. The price action shows you are close to $1, but your resistance level is close to $1.28. So you have not yet broken that limit to the upside. Now that's a weekly chart though. You go on a 3-day chart, you get to see this. You're now retesting the previous swing high. And yes, you do get to see some level of bullishness on a 3-day chart, saying there is hidden bullish divergence forming. But when you go on to a daily chart, you literally have this pattern formation here. Until that breaks to the upside, you cannot argue anything. The RSI is still trending, which is fine, but when you are on a macro, it is not in your favor. So you put the chart on a monthly, and the argument is this: you need a break of this pattern, and if you do that, it is going to be a monstrous rally. We know that, but last time we made such a pattern, before the price broke to the upside, there was a 58% correction. So if you see the pattern and how that played out, you kind of have an idea. Take that measured move near the breakout. That was a 6x in Cardano back then. You plot that 6x and you see kind of that was the first big leg, pushing Cardano all the way up to $1 back then from 0.15, which was a good rally. Now think, if you measure this, now that's a 3.5x move on a monthly chart, and you still have all the negative divergence visible on the weekly. So it is a troubling time for those who are in smart contracts, it's confusing. Whereas if you take that in to payments assets, whether it's XRP, XLM, H bar, whichever you're looking at, you kind of clearly have a trend to the upside, right? We are fine. We understand that downside move can be an ABC, and then the next 1, 2, 3 leg to the upside. The first one, you saw how the momentum was, which kind of means the momentum in the next one can also be higher. But watch the monthly. You still have another 20 days to go in this month, but kind of look at this. In that 3 weeks, if you get to see a break of 2.9, it's going to be absolutely bullish. But your eyes should be more focused and aligned with the Bitcoin dominance. It is choppy for sure. It's boring for sure. There is no doubt. But it always has been like that before any big moves to the upside or to the downside. Now, is it going to be a move to the downside? You're still here watching this and waiting. So you easily pick up the XRP to Bitcoin chart to see if that is pushing you to the downside. It does not look like that. You look at the strength here, the RSI on a monthly shows you 64.37 XRP to Bitcoin on a monthly. Yeah, what does that mean? Pick that RSI from there and see what it meant last time when you were there. Does that look clean and clear? You were almost at the all-time highs region last time you had this much strength. Or say before that, it was even better. The momentum was big. So the XRP to Bitcoin chart is kind of clear where it's going. Now, you put that on a weekly chart and see if all that we discussed right now makes more sense there, or it's just blah, blah, blah. It doesn't, right? This kind of looks absolutely like the first leg is completed. You're going for the second leg. Third wave can be shy moving factor, but still the wave 2 was big. So if that wave 2 is what's happening in front of us, why would you shy away from it? Why would I say such a thing when the market is not showing you the entire crypto market is about to run high? Because this is that fact. If you go back to 2020, you kind of understand we now reached back to those levels. Remember, 2020 was a critical year. Yeah, you saw a lot of other assets running up and XRP doing barely 10x. Now, 10x is not small, but you saw a lot of assets doing 100x. Fine. Now, in that context, watch the Bitcoin dominance. It can move up to meet its resistance level. The measured moves are as such that it shows it is going to ride further to the upside. Now, one of the important factors which we will have to look at is XRP to Ether chart to understand which direction the smart contracts versus payments is playing out. You can see how the smart contracts arena dominated the entire payment spectrum. But right now, payments are coming back up. It's back to the level of 2020s or even 2017s. We can argue that. Now put it on a monthly and see this. You just entered the overbought territory comparing the payments to smart contracts. So those who moved from payments to smart contracts, they have trouble. Whereas those who moved from smart contracts to payments, oh, they are looking really good. I mean, that was a clear, good decision. Now, on a monthly chart though, which means you will still get these choppy moves, but you're going to most likely go back to that 2017 levels. Now, what does that mean? Yeah, you pick Ether, a smart contract asset, and argue this. Ether should come back down to these levels. Does that look possible? $100, $150? Maybe, but I really don't think so. I think it may drop, even if it breaks the pattern. It may not come that low. But I think the first support is $2,500. I think we may find buyers at that range, which means the drop is not that much in Ether, but still XRP is pointing you to the upside, sky high. That only means XRP should run way harder than Ether. Even if Ether is slow, XRP needs to do something magical for all these to align. I mean, this is happening after 4-5 years of observing. All those dots are now lining up for something special. That is why we have focused heavily on the macro market. Yes, it is true, it is sure that you need to look at the dollar and what it is doing with what's happening in the US. It is strengthening, it is literally obliterating a lot of different currencies, including mine, which is the US dollar to INR. You can see it's at the all-time highs. Boom, it's actually breaking through, it's going up. What's happening? Trump came in saying America first, which is the best thing for US. They are strengthening. But what about the international trade? Yeah, you have to think about that. Now, if that president is thinking like, we're going to make everything in this country, fine, you really don't care too much about the international trade impacting the common man. Now, yeah, those who are looking for the Louis Vuittons and all this, yeah, they will be looking at the international trades. But think about this. All of these currencies getting hit hard are also observing the fact that crypto market is delivering something. Yeah, all of them are watching their currency get hit hard, their purchasing power get screwed up. But those who are in crypto for long term is doing well. I mean, they're doing great. If you have been in the market for this long from this range, you already know. Just stand in one asset during all these times. So just buy one asset which you trust, which has that fundamental every month with a small amount. You're doing great. Yeah, whether it's at the upside, whether it's at the downside, you're still doing magnificently great. Now, say you get to buy at the bottoms, meaning you only buy after a 70% drop. Yeah, your average may not be the perfect because sometimes it dropped 90. But you still get to enjoy the benefits of the market reaching that 70% to the downside. Remember when we had that buys of Ether at $180, $200 and selling that all the way up? Yeah, that was hard to hold on all those times, but it felt great when we were selling it. This is exactly why we go through all those divergence and everything else in the Scientific Investor family. And if you want to take part, use the link in the description, jump in and understand what part of the market is showing you negative divergence right now. That is a concern. Maybe I'm completely wrong. A lot of people were asking about SUI in the comment section. I would say just this. You look at the negative divergence, a weekly chart shows you that clearly. The price went up, but the RSI did not. So I would say on a macro, if I don't understand this asset, I'm not jumping in. I really don't want to. Because if you see negative divergence, that means the whales are stepping out. And if the whales are stepping out when the price is going up, I really have trouble understanding that asset. Now, say you're super bullish on that asset. You plot it. It looks something like this. Yeah. These kind of patterns have troubling, confusing times. Why? You look at this. The price action is going straight up. Fine. But what does the top look like here? That is confusing. Yeah? It kind of shows a lot of people are selling. Who the hell is selling? Now, it is very hard to point these out when the price is still at the all-time highs because people scream at you. Go back at our calls of Luna, Celsius, FTX, and all of that. You will understand why the SI family survived. Now, watch this. The RSI dropping down on a weekly is what? the flipping point. Ooh, that wouldn't look great if you're in that. Now, maybe I'm wrong. That thing is going to the moon. But if I don't understand it, I don't want to touch it. Now, people were also asking for Solana. Now, come here. Take Solana on a weekly and be honest with yourself. There's a lot of big guys, macro investors giving you a lot of different thought process. I respect everyone, but I wouldn't touch this. Yeah? I would actually look at this and say, you see this, the 1, you see this, the 2, and it looks like this is the 3. And on a weekly, when the price went up, the RSI did not. That is not good. Yeah, last time when you formed that top, yes, the negative divergence was visible, but then still the price went up, saying, come on, enter, everybody, enter, jump in. And then it boom, it went back lower. So for me, I'm like, maybe that's going to happen. Maybe that already happened. But if you're in these assets, scratch your head and ask yourself, if the history says, after this, I go down, maybe, the entire market will have some correction. But these assets, they're going to drop massively. So maybe, again, on a monthly, you have to make the decision. If the monthly chart shows you this, higher highs, lower highs, make your judgment. So with that being said, if you want further updates on all these other assets in your portfolio, be a part of the Scientific Investor family and make sure it doesn't have the negative divergence at least. If not, in 3 months' time, you'll actually see, that was the right decision. So if you received value, smash that like button. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.